Good morning and happy Wednesday. Today we are going to review multiplying by two-digit numbers, which looks really scary when you look at 14 times 17. It's like, whoa! However, this is actually a lot easier than it looks. So let's take a look at problem number 1, which they so nicely did for us. Oh no, sorry guys, my thingy is moving a lot. There we go. Okay. So they did 14 times 17. Let's check out this direction. It says estimate each multiplication problem to check if the answer is reasonable. We're looking for reasonable answers. If it's not reasonable, we're going to cross it out and we're going to write the correct one. If it is reasonable, we're not going to do anything to it. So for number 1, the answer was 2,380. To estimate it, they did 14 times 20, and they got 280. They were like, yeah, this is way, way, way too big. Then after that, they checked their math. All right, let's go and let's look at number 2. Let's look at 15. We're not going to do times 19. We're going to round it to the nearest 10. 15 rounded to the nearest 10. Is 20, or excuse me, 19 rounded to the nearest 10 is 20. So we're going to round up to 20. Poof the 0. And now we have 15 times 2, which is the same as 15 times 15, which is 30. All right, so number 2 is looking pretty good. Let's take a look at our next problem. We have 21 times 18. I know that 21 is really close to 20, so I'm just going to move it there. I'm going to round down. 21 times 18 becomes 20 times 18. Poof, that's 0. We have 2 times 18, which is the same as 18 plus 18. And 18 plus 18 is 36. Uh-oh. Their answer is not reasonable. So we want to go now, and we're actually going to have to work on this one. This is where this problem set's going to be a bit of a challenge when you have to work the problems. So we are going to go, and we are going to split it into 20 times 18, which we've already done. I'm just showing my work. It becomes 20 times 18. And then we have one more group of 18. That's going to get us 21 times 18 right there. All I did was split it up. We have 20 times 18 and 1 times 18 because this one was very close. So we need to add one more group of 18 to our answer. And we're going to end up getting 378. Let's take a look at number 4. We have 16 times 13 and they wrote 28. All right, we don't even have to work this one out. We know that is not reasonable at all. So we are just going to go straight to the nope. And let's take a look at how we can break up 16. I'm going to make a little line here to keep this separate. So 16, I can turn that into 6 and 10. Always work off the 10. It's going to make your life a lot easier, guys. So now we have 10 times 13, which is an easy problem. We've got 130 now. And then we have 6 times 13, which is a little harder. I'm going to cross this guy out because I already took care of him. So here we have 6 times 13. So in order to do 6 times 13, we need to think about 6 times 12. 6 times 12 is 72. One more group of 6 would make it 78. All right, now we just need to add these guys together. These problems look scary, but it's really just breaking them down into steps. It's saying, hey, I can make you an easy number. Because suddenly 16 times 13 has become an easy problem. It's become 10 times 13 and 6 times 13. because here we just count by 6. Here we just move a 0. So this is not bad at all. And we end up with our final answer of 208. That sounds a lot more reasonable than the answer they originally had. All right, let's take a look at number 5. All right, we have 13 times 31, which I will turn into 13 times 30 to check for reasonableness. I rounded down because 31 is next door to 30. Okay, poof my 0, and then we get 13 times 3. Again, I'm just going to think about counting by 3s. Maybe I'll go back to 10 times 3, which is 30. So 11 times 3 is 33. So 12 times 3 is 36. So that means that 13 times 3 is 39. Okay, so they said 390 is 13 times 30. This student's answer for 13 times 31 is 403. That answer is very close. That looks reasonable. I'm going to leave that guy alone. All good. All right, let's take a look at number 6. We have 18 times 17. They got 3,056. That's a pretty big number, guys. I'm feeling like there might be a mistake. Okay, I'm going to round that 18 into a 20. And so that way we're going to have 20 times 18. So that becomes that 2 times 18 thing again. 18 plus 18 is 36. Uh-oh. Their answer should have been in the ballpark of like 360, not 3,056. They've added an extra 0 in somewhere. All right, let's go and work this out. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to go and we're going to do, let's see, 10 and 8. Now this problem is going to be a little more complex because of that 17. So what we can do is we can also split the 17. Take a look right here. So turn 17 into 10 and 7. Now we're going to multiply everybody by each other. So 10 times 10, 7 times 8, 7 times 10, and 8 times 10. Everybody must multiply by each other. Think of it as a giant box. And next year in 4th grade, you're actually going to use a giant box to help you with problems like this. This is really our challenge problem right here. It's not terribly friendly to us because of the numbers they're using. It's more work than, say, if this one is incorrect, we can do what we did before. We can split it off into an extra group. Here we've got to split up both numbers because 17 is a number that's going to be challenging for us to use no matter what. All right. So let's do this. We're going to do 10 times 10, which is 100. I'm going to make a little list of numbers that I'm going to add up in the end. Ooh, the box over there. So I've got my 100. Okay, so I multiplied these guys by each other. Now I'm going to do 8 times 10. That's 80. 7 times 10, that's 70. And then we're going to do 8 times 7, that's 56. If what I just did not make sense to you, let me show it another way, because this is a challenging problem. If what I just did was confusing, hang tight. Let me show you another way. So to make it, if that was strange, watch this. We can do 17 times 10 and get 170. And then we are left with 17 times 8. 17 times 8 is gross and scary. So that's where we'd want to split it off into 10 times 8 and 7 times 8. See how I just split that 17 into the 10 and the 8 again? That's exactly what I did here. Look, here's 100 and here's 70. 170. 10 times 8 is 80. 7 times 8 is 56. I just broke it up a different way to keep the number smaller. So if this way, remember we're adding, not multiplying. Let me put a plus sign right there. If this way made more sense for you, do that. If you're having problems with this one, please leave me a comment. Let me know, and we can go and we can work on this one together. All right, I'm going to add everything up on this side. So I've got a bunch of zeros and a 6. 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. And then 20 and 1 more is 21. So their answer should have been 216. They were super duper wrong. Okay, I'm going to erase and then scroll down so we can take a look at problem number 7. Have a little more room to work it out. Let me go and do this. That way we have lots of room and the problems don't get mixed up. All right, 21 times 15. We're going to just turn that into 20 times 15, which is the same as 2 times 15 and then a 0 behind it. 15 plus 15 is 30. So their answer should have been somewhere in the ballpark of 300, not 3,000. All right. So we've already gone and found this. Now we just need to do one more group of 15 because 20 and 1 is 15. The problems with 21 are awesome. 21, 31, anything like that. Any of those problems are really easy to work out because you just do the tens and then you do the one more. It's when both numbers are a little challenging that we have to put our thinking caps on a little tighter than usual. So our answer here is 315. They went and they just kind of added in this random 0. Not sure what happened with their thinking there. Okay, and here we have 12 times 22. So we're going to do 20 times 12. Move my 0. 2 times 12 is 24. Their answer should be in the ballpark of 240. I made my line go a little too low when I made the dividing line. Boom, perfect. Okay, and so they got 2,604. Not even close. Okay, so we've already done the 20 and the 22, so now let's do that 2 part right there. That's 24, and then let's add them up. So 4 plus 0 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, and then 2. 264. They have the same error as right here. They put a 0 in a spot that it doesn't belong. Okay, let's look at number 9, our very last one. How does estimating a multiplication problem help you know if an answer is reasonable? It gets you close to what the answer should be. Because we were able to tell that some of these problems were right without having to work them out too much because we just estimated. As a rule, if you are really close to a reasonable answer and the problem doesn't require you to work it out precisely, estimating is a great thing. Rounding your work when you multiply can be super useful. Alrighty guys, class mini meeting today at 11:30. I will see you then.